Hey guys, what's up? This is Blaze the movie fan, and as a lot of you know, I fucking love the new Powerpuff show. And I personally think it's getting far more hate than it deserves. And the video I'm commenting on today is the prime example of that. So anyway, without further ado, let's dive in.
Hey everyone, it's Justin with Stuff with Scoutfly, and I want to ask a very simple question. Do you like the Powerpuff Girls?
Absolutely, I fucking love this show, both the new one and the old one. And I think they are some of the best shows on Cartoon Network.
If you're watching this channel, the answer is probably yes.
Only a few seconds in it, there is already a problem. You're generalizing everyone who is watching this video. Let me tell you something, not everybody who is watching your video is a fan of the Powerpuff Girls. You have to keep that in mind. I know that you said probably, but that doesn't change the fact though that you are generalizing. You might have not intended to generalize, but that's how it comes across us. Also, I will be skipping the beginning of the videos as he is for the most part just explaining what the old Powerpuff Girls show is, and I have nothing to say about that aside from useful information. But there is one point he makes in the beginning that I have to address.
And what they try to do is fight crime in Townsville, USA. Oh, I still love that name. It's so good.
You claim to be a fan of the old Powerpuff Girls show, yet you got basic information wrong. The location of the show is the city of Townsville, not Townsville, USA. How the hell can you make such an obvious mistake? That's just mind-boggling.
Some will argue the quality of the later episodes in the last few seasons, but there is most certainly way more good than bad when it comes to the OG stuff.
I would argue that even the first season has its share of bad episodes. I mean, Powerpuff Bluff is an episode from the first season, and I think that one was total shit because of how stupid it was. But I will agree with you though that the show is for the most part fucking awesome.
So with that, I want to ask the very polarizing question, has Cartoon Network killed the Powerpuff Girls?
No, of course they fucking haven't. If anything, they revived it. This question is so fucking stupid. Now look, even if the question isn't meant to be taken literally, it still is a very stupid question. I mean, I get what you mean by that question. You are implying that the show has gone downhill. And I am willing to admit that the old show was better, but it doesn't change the fact that this question is so fucking stupid.
You got the characters, which is super cool and great, and they look fantastic, but these, these are the Powerpuff Girls, but they're not the Powerpuff Girls. Let me explain. Well, this show takes their personalities away and replaces them with your average kid on the internet in 2017, or as my good friend Pizza would say, a robotic, memeing drone. And honestly, I feel like that's the best description for the main characters in the reboot.
Are you fucking kidding me? Has it ever occurred to you that maybe the reason they act like kids is because they fucking are? Furthermore, they acted like kids in the original show as well. So your complaint here can apply to the original show as well. As for your point about them not having any personality, well, I will be getting into further detail on that when it becomes relevant in this commentary.
If you need someone to sing so bad, you do it! No me gusta!
And and then you'll be reminded immediately that this is a show that premiered in 2016 and is trying to just chase after that internet culture. It's like the people making the show go online and they research popular memes at the moment, and then they choose to include them in the show, but then when the show airs, months and months, maybe even a year later, the memes aren't relevant anymore, and honestly, they chose the Me Gusta one. When was the last time anyone's dropped that?
Now, of course, you have to complain about the internet memes. How cliché. It's almost sad how predictable this video is. Alright, let me explain to you why complaining about the internet memes is completely pointless. There hasn't been one episode that focuses mostly on an internet meme. Not one! And most of the times, the internet meme is such a minor part of the episode. Is it really something that's worth complaining about?
Just wait, I guarantee in the next season of the Powerpuff Girls reboot, we're gonna see Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles playing with these stupid things.
I highly doubt they are gonna make an entire episode that focuses on the fidget spinner. Wanna know why? Because like I said earlier, there has never been an episode that focuses mostly on an internet meme.
It's almost like they're saving the 50th episode to capitalize on some huge internet meme. Maybe the people over at Cartoon Network are looking at Google Trends and trying to figure out what to do with a fidget spinner. Sorry, I realize I go too far in these videos sometimes.
That's such a shitty joke, and I already debunked your point about the fidget spinners.
And if we remember, back in the day, the original run of the Powerpuff Girls had crazy stuff going on. Some like out of this world crazy shenanigans happened, but in this show, it just seems so simple. The old show had this really grand feel to it, where the problems for the most part were bigger and required more thought from the characters than they would usually supply. But they'd get together, think it out, and always save the day, and if you think they can't, well, they'd always find a way. Sorry, I had to. But here in the reboot, the problems are so small and simple-minded, it's almost like the people behind the show think the people that are watching it are a bunch of brain-dead morons.
I can think of an episode of the new Powerpuff Girls show where the Powerpuff Girls had to think things through, and that episode is painful. The villain of that episode was so tough for them, they even had difficulties fucking finding him. And he was very close in beating the Powerpuff Girls. And Buttercup learned a valuable lesson by the end. And I could argue that there are episodes of the old show where the Powerpuff Girls didn't have to think things through. One example I can bring up is the first episode where the princess appears in. They managed to beat her very easily the first time around and didn't have to think much.
It's really bizarre seeing all the huge changes in the show. The writing has completely changed and is nothing like it used to be.
Really? You're not gonna complain about the fact that the show is different? Let me tell you something, if it was the same as the old show, it would be very stale. I mean, look at what happened to The Simpsons.
The original series was funny, but at the same time, it knew when to be cute and when not to be. It wasn't forced at all, and not for one moment did you think that these characters weren't tough.
I could make the argument that the old show tried to be funny at the most inappropriate moments. I mean, for fuck's sake, there was an entire episode that was just about the Powerpuff Girls laughing at the mayor's ears. Also, could you elaborate on what you meant when you said that it never felt like the Powerpuff Girls weren't tough? Because I don't know what you mean by that.
Bubbles is the kind of cutesy, happy-go-lucky character, Buttercup was the tough one, and Blossom was sort of in the middle to give each of them a little bit of balance. You could easily pick one of them to identify with, especially as a young kid. But here in the reboot series, all of the characters really do feel the same. It's like they're the one character. It's almost like they copy and pasted the personalities from Blossom, gave it to Buttercup, and also gave it to Bubbles. They all feel the same.
Everything you described applies to the new show as much as it applies to the old one. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are differences between how the Powerpuff Girls acted in the old show and how they act now, but their overall personalities still remain the same.
This show just feels like one huge replacement, and speaking of replacing things, the characters aren't even voiced by their original voice actors for the most part, at least these three aren't. And without those voice actors, these characters again aren't really what they used to be, and Craig McCracken, yeah, he's long gone from this.
Has it ever occurred to you that the reason why this show has new voice actors is because it's a fucking reboot? Also, you're complaining about the voice acting? Really? That's just bitching for the sake of bitching.
So, to answer the title of this video, has Cartoon Network killed the Powerpuff Girls? Yeah, honestly, I really think they have. Not only with the quality of the show itself, but also with the overscheduling of it on Cartoon Network.
Oh no, the show is on when you don't want it to be on. Cry me a fucking river. I mean seriously, if the show is on when you don't want it to be on, just do something else while the show is on. It's really that fucking simple.
But for real, it's not too late. Cartoon Network, you can still turn this ship around and sail in a different direction. You guys just gotta listen to what the people want. You have to listen to the fans out there. If the fans aren't happy, then the company's not gonna be happy, the show's gonna get canceled, and you're gonna wonder why it didn't succeed, and it's because at the end of the day, you didn't listen to the fans.
They aren't obligated to listen to the fans. They are a business at the end of the day. The purpose of a business is to make money. Furthermore, why should they listen to the criticism they get from the internet? Most of the complaints are very petty. Oh, there are internet memes. Oh, the show is not as good as it used to be. Most of the people complaining about the new Powerpuff Girls show have very stupid complaints. Now keep in mind that I'm not saying that everybody has stupid complaints, but most videos I see on YouTube are very stupid complaints. Also, dream the fuck on, buddy, the show isn't gonna get cancelled. There are only two ways it's gonna be cancelled. Either if it has run its course, or if it's not profitable anymore. And guess what? The Powerpuff Girls is one of the most profitable things ever.
People will say that I'm not the target audience for the Powerpuff Girls, but I can go back and watch the original classic series of the Powerpuff Girls and it's just as good as it ever was, and watch shows today that aren't for me, like Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. And those shows are all amazing and they hit every note. This excuse can't be made anymore. A bad show is a bad show regardless of the target audience, and the same goes for a good one.
This is something I completely agree with you on. I find it very fucking stupid when people defend cartoons by saying, oh, it's for kids, you aren't allowed to criticize it. That bullshit annoys me to no end. I mean, yes, with most cartoons on Cartoon Network, they are for kids by the end of the day. But to me, that doesn't excuse shitty writing. I mean, yes, children have low standards when it comes to entertainment, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't put any effort into whatever you're making. And I also wonder how these people are gonna defend a bad R-rated movie. Obviously, they can't use that defense when talking about that. There they have nothing. Now it's time for my overall thoughts. Look, my intention of this video is not to try to change your opinion, nor am I trying to say that you're wrong for disliking the new Powerpuff Girls show. The main purpose of this video is to critique your points. This was such a poorly done video. A lot of what you said can apply to both the new and the old Powerpuff Girls show equally. But hey, if you still dislike the new Powerpuff Girls show, that's cool, man. I respect your opinion. And I hold nothing against you. Well, guys, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.